Good evening. This is Mr. Curlin, your curriculum specialist for the district. We are again on talking about the Marzano model and how we as instructional leaders can go into other classrooms and observe and see it. Now, the Marzano model, to reiterate, is a research-backed um, curricula classroom design that shows us how to use effective classroom pedagogy in the classroom by using research-backed effective instructional strategies, management strategies, and curriculum design strategies. Marzano has generated 10 questions that ask the teachers, how can we be master teachers? Now, our fourth question of the professional development is, what will I do to engage students? So what does the teacher do? What does the coach need to see when they come into a Marzano teacher's classroom? We will be seeing physically active students. Students have to be active. They need to be moving around, maybe not the entire lesson, but at least partially. There needs to be an enthusiastic teacher. How can the students be engaged if the teacher is not enthusiastic and engaged? Students should be competing. It should be a healthy competition, and it should be in groups. So maybe in some sort of manner, the student has arranged the classroom to get points. A observer should be able to hear teacher using wait time after any and all questions, including during the student questions. Students should be arguing over classroom topics, so it should be an engaged argument in the classroom. There should be a way to put it, an observer should be able to hear students engaging in games, choral responses. Maybe they can be saying boards, some way that the teacher is getting every student in that classroom engaged. A Marzano teacher also asks themselves, what will I do to establish and maintain classroom rules and procedures? A observer should be able to see teacher moving through the entire room constantly, going into hot spots, observing, using teacher radar to view the entire room. A Marzano teacher moves closer to students off task or misbehaving, so they'll maintain eye contact with the student and start going closer to the student to fix off task behavior. You should be able to also view regular parent contact, whether this be a newsletter or them maintaining logs themselves and some sort of documentation. A Marzano teacher is constantly contacting parents. What will I hear? Teachers should be acknowledging student completion of procedures. Teacher stops class and confronts misbehavior publicly. As an observer, we should see this. Teachers should be addressing behavior in groups. A Marzano teacher addresses behavior in groups. Now, a Marzano teacher also asked, what will I do to develop effective lessons organized in a cohesive unit? This is kind of the essential question that the Marzano teacher has to ask, because this is all the pre-planning. How do we become these teachers? This last question asks. And what you will see as an observer is teachers' lessons should be designed around a central unit. Students know where they were and where they're going to. There's a regularity in lesson design. Students aren't confused about a new assignment. They're not confused by the pace of the lesson. It's regular. A Marzano teacher always addresses academic content in every lesson. It's never off academic content. What will I hear? Teacher refers to the lesson cohesion. So teacher refers back to maybe a solution or something they did in a previous classroom because it still matters now. Teacher has to be providing a variety of learning experiences. So you should be hearing audio learning experience, seeing kinesthetic learning experiences. Maybe there's some visual components going on. Teachers are providing all of this. Teachers should also be prepared for all situations. As a former teacher myself, I can barely fathom some things that happen in all these classrooms, even with the experience. And so we have to be just pre-plan as much as possible. What does this mean for us as coaches? As coaches of instruction, we must be the men and women that give all our teachers best practices in the classroom, as well as keeping them accountable for strong instruction in the classroom. You should use the Marzano model to give you clear guided action steps for your teachers in your classrooms, and you should be able to step into any classroom in the building and know exactly where you should be. And hearing in a teacher's classroom gives you clear guidance to where they need to go. So the same way the teacher pushes on the students, we as coaches are using our model to push our students. Thank you so much for being in this PD. This has been Adam.